Hello and welcome to today's tutorial. Today's video is a project that requires really accurate joint making, and it really goes back to some basics of woodworking and joinery. I'll start, as I always do, by getting my wood. So for the part of the letter rack that sits wherever you want the letter rack, I'm using this quite solid piece of wood. I think I picked this up on a walk once. This was an old housing sign, one of the things that says to let or house bought, and it was completely snapped on the floor. And so this is one of the decent pieces that I managed to get from it. So that's what I'm going to use for that. Also got a beautiful piece of mahogany. I've used mahogany before in tutorials. I used it when I made my music stand. And in fact, today I've actually finished making my second music stand. It's just there. And I enjoyed making that as well. So let's not waste any more time and get started on the build. I'll start the project properly by just cutting this piece down to size with a panel saw. Now I need to mark the very centre of this piece of wood, so I can work out where the housing joints need to go. So this piece here is actually only 20 centimetres long, so it's quite small, and I'm sure the people that I'm making it for will like it, as I've actually already got one of these that I made a while back. Now what I can do is take this piece of mahogany, and I'm just going to put that up so the line is roughly in the centre of the mahogany. Then I'm just going to mark either side of the mahogany, and then take my set square and draw these lines across here, like so. I'm now going to draw down this side as well, these lines also. Like that. I've set the depth on my marking gauge to 2 centimetres. So now when I take this and mark along there, I know that that'll be 2 centimetres down, so I can work out the housing joint from there. And now I can see that line straight across there, and that's where I need to chisel. Normally you would use a tenon saw to cut down to the line here, but unfortunately the only tenon saw that I've got at the moment is really quite blunt and takes forever, so I'm just going to try it out with a coping saw. So I've finished cutting down these lines with the coping saw, and now I need to go and find my chisel. Now this chisel seems to be the complete width of that piece of mahogany, but I want to be extra sure that this joint will be nice and snug, so I'm going to take a smaller chisel and chisel out the housing joint a little bit more slowly and take my time, so I know that there will be an exact housing joint. When you're making a housing joint, you want to have this beveled edge there not showing, so it's only the flat side that you can see. Now, I didn't realise that this wood was quite so weak, but when I started chiselling, the groove just popped out very, very quickly, which saves me an awful lot of hard work. And I'm just going to test if this can fit in there. Oh, yes. Ah, excellent. Now, what is absolutely brilliant is that this doesn't quite fit in there, which means that when I come to take my mallet and knock it in, it'll fit in perfectly, and I'm really, really pleased. So now I just need to do the same thing and do it along here. I initially thought that the mahogany would fit really quite snugly, and to be honest, even after hitting it with a mallet, it still didn't go in very easily. So I'm going to take a file and I'm just going to file out a tiny bit on the sides to try and see if I can get it to fit a bit better. I'll just have to keep filing and testing until the housing joint is nice. I've got the mahogany fitting nicely, so now I need to go and make the other two housing joints. Measure, mark, cut, chisel. So I finished making the 3 housing joints in this piece of wood, and now I need to mark up the mahogany to be cut to size. I've marked up this piece of mahogany and I'm just going to cut it quickly with the saw. I've just cut this piece now, finished cutting it, and I'm ready to stick it into the housing joint here. Now this side is a little bit sort of wobbly because it was really quite awkward to cut, and I've tried to make it straighter with the disc sander, but that didn't exactly work, so I'm going to put it in there with the manufactured end showing. So now that I've got the manufactured side showing up, I'm going to just use some, this just says it's white glue, so I presume it's PVA and it seems to be good, and put it along the bottom of there and on this side here. And to clamp it, I'm just going to take an F-clamp, and I'm going to put this quite close up to the edge so it presses into one side of the housing joint and doesn't move. So that's not really going to move while it's gluing at all, and that's good. Now once you rest an envelope against there, the envelope's going to be quite a lot higher than that. So what I'm going to do, in this one, it's going to be one higher, and then the next one's going to be higher again, so it'll look a little bit abstract. So now what I need to do, I need to wait for this to dry, but while I'm doing that I need to cut these pieces. Just cut these other two pieces off camera, and as you can see, I did what I said I would do, and I have made them so they kind of go up slightly in size order. There's a 2 centimeter gap between all of these, and now I just need to glue them. Now these are all glued and clamped and ready to set. Thank you so much for watching today's video. This is the project completed, and I'm really happy with how it has turned out. If you have liked today's video, please like and subscribe, and the next best thing that you can do to support me is to share this video with some of your friends. If you are quite a crafty person and are more into sort of more traditional art, feel free to check out my friend's channel. The channel name is MooJoyTiger32, and I will put the link to that channel in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.